Well, jury selection has begun on the Diddy S trafficking trial, and it is said to be the trial of the century. I am Wisdom's daughter, and you're listening to Bad Girls Talk. So, if you're wondering how jurors are selected, here's some information for you.
A highly anticipated trial against Sean Diddy Combs starts today. The hip hop artist facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges that could have him spend the rest of his life in prison.
He's pled not guilty, and jury selection is expected to be complicated. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She's live outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan this morning with the very latest. Briella, good morning.
Tashani and Dan, good morning to both of you. Sean Diddy Combs was an entrepreneur and superstar for more than 2 decades. Today, though, he finds himself in the midst of a major legal battle. Jury selection set to start at around 8:30 this morning. Here's what's going to happen. Potential candidates will be called into a private room to be questioned one by defense lawyers and prosecutors. Back in September, Sean Diddy Combs was indicted on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was arrested at a Manhattan hotel where he had been staying in anticipation of his eventual indictment and has been held without bail since then. Prosecutors allege Combs used his business empire to conduct freak-offs, which they describe as highly orchestrated sex performances. They also claim he used his power and influence to force women into participating. The judge presiding over the trial, Arun Subramanian, was nominated to the Southern District by former President Joe Biden in 2022 and confirmed by the U.S. Senate a year later. He ruled last week Combs can wear non-prison clothing in the trial and is also allowing the 2016 surveillance video of Cassie Ventura being beaten by Combs to be used in court. The federal case revolves around 4 alleged victims who are all expected to testify. This week, prosecutors and defense lawyers will choose 12 jurors plus 6 alternates. Attorney Amanda Riemann is not associated with the trial, but weighed in on what is expected to be a complicated process.
When the prosecution is interviewing people for jury selection, they're going to be eliminating people who really idolize this rapper, who have been big fans of this song since they were young teenagers. They're going to want that person acting. On the other hand, the defense is going to be thinking, okay, well, wait a minute, this potential juror, they sympathize with women. They might be a little too sympathetic.
Diddy has pleaded not guilty and denied all of the allegations against him. His legal team released a statement saying that his accusers were former longtime girlfriends who were all in consensual relationships with him. This trial expected to last between 8 and 10 weeks. For now, though, we're live here in Lower Manhattan. Dana Tashani, back to you.
So, as you heard, Diddy will be allowed to wear his own clothing during the trial. So he will not be seen in that orange jumpsuit, which we wouldn't see anyway because they're not going to allow cameras in the courtroom. And also, the Cassie video will also be allowed to play. Now, again, P. Diddy has rejected his plea deal. And it's interesting because when it comes to facing consequences, Sean Diddy Combs has a long history of dodging charges and allegations that have been filed against him. Back in June of 2015, he was arrested and charged with assault after an alleged altercation at UCLA. Now, Diddy's son Justin was on their football team and was reportedly being yelled at by an assistant coach named Sal Alosi during that game. Now, evidently, Diddy confronted Alosi in his office post-game, and somehow the altercation involved a kettlebell. Those charges were dropped. Diddy was also cleared of 4 counts of illegal weapons possession in 1999. He had charges reduced for his involvement in the beating of former Interscope executive Steve Stout in New York that same year. And in 2005, Diddy was accused of assaulting a Michigan television host, but that was resolved in the rapper's favor. There are plenty of other examples of Bad Boy Records CEO, well, not anymore, avoiding jail time. And maybe that's why Diddy rejected the plea deal ahead of his trafficking case, because he's been able to get off before. Not sure it's going to be as easy this time. But again, if you were wondering how the jury is being selected, there you have it. And we will just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching. I am Wisdom's daughter with Bad Girls Talk, and I'll see you on the next one.